exact scenario as Chris Harrison. That guy had the best job in the world, and I've said it for like 8 years that I've always wanted to be him. So if I get a little enthusiastic tonight, just don't hold it against me. So, Kankakee Bachelor Nation, welcome to the most dramatic evening the Kankakee Public Library has ever seen. Now, town halls are here, so that's not as ironic as you think it'd be. Anyway, whether you're here for the right reasons, the wrong reasons, whether you're confused as to the reason why you're here, we are happy that you are here for braving the elements and making it out. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to who I'm sure you're already familiar with, Dustin Kendrick. And Kankakee's very own Amber James. If you're wondering, who I am and what the heck I'm doing up here, my wife, my beautiful wife, Corey, is in the back. She works at the library. And the crack staff here at the Kankakee Public Library asked me to host tonight. I was honored and thrilled to say yes. I run my local Bachelor fantasy league with most of my family, really. It started out with just 5 guys, and that has grown to include women. It started off as just kind of a fantasy league. So anyway, I am a huge Bachelor fan, and I'm just stoked to be here. So that's definitely enough about me. How this is going to work, I have 4 categories of questions. The first is the first impression rose, which will be how you got on the show. What were your lives like before the show started? The second category will be called one-on-one date, your time during the show. The third category will be the long limo home, about your post-Bachelor lives and what's going on now. And then the fourth will be called Wild Roses, which will just be a grab bag. So I will ask Dustin and Amber some questions in each category, and then after those category questions are concluded, we'll open it up to the audience. And if you can keep to that same category, that would be great. Is anybody confused? Pat is. Okay. Well, just raise your hand and I'll try to help you through. When you do have a question, Hannah and Vicky will be walking around with the microphone. So just raise your hand and I'll point you out, and then Hannah or Vicky will come to you. So, let's get started. Let's get started! All right, Amber, I'll start with you.
Okay.
Since you are the local gal, how the heck did you get on the show in the first place?
So I got on the show, it was Juan Pablo's season, and I was watching it with my roommates at the time, and I was just like, I could get on this show. And my friends, or my roommates at the time, were like, I didn't know, they took a picture of me, and they sent it to ABC. And they put a little description or whatever, so they nominated me to be on the show.
Without your knowledge.
Without my knowledge, yep. And I got a phone call right around April Fool's Day, so I thought it was a joke. And basically saying, hey, this is ABC The Bachelor, are you still single? And I'm like, what? I mean, yeah, I'm still single, I've been single forever. But this is a joke, and they're like, no, for real, we want you to come to the Westin to do another interview. So that's how I got on. I basically, it was step by step. I don't want to go all the way through, but that was the first step. They called me, made sure I was single.
Gotcha. All right. And Dustin, how about you?
Dustin, can you hear me? I had a friend refer me, a coworker actually. I didn't really know too much about the show. I never really watched it. I just heard about it here and there. And I had a coworker refer me, and before I knew it, I had a casting director call me and reaching out to me. I first turned it down. I was like, I don't know about this. I don't know what this would be like. I was really nervous. But yeah, I said yes. I think 2 weeks later. And yeah, here we are.
So, how did you come up with the decision to actually say yes? What was your mental thought process like during those 2 weeks?
I had just turned 30 not too long. before. And I was like, I'm gonna try something new. You know, I'm 30, why not? Why not give it a chance?
Go on TV.
I honestly didn't think I was gonna make it. I just thought, why not try? And here we are. Here were you lovely people.
Down in Kankakee, I bet you never thought you'd be here. Yeah. Tell us about the actual audition. Amber, I'll start with you. The audition experience when you first went in, the casting director said, hey, come to this place this time, or whatever, at the West End.
Yep.
What was that like?
Well, I was super hungover, so I wasn't gonna go.
What time did it start?
It was like a morning or afternoon until like 3 p.m. or something. And I just remember like being dressed and ready to go to the audition. And I was like, I'm not going. I feel like crap. Like I'm not going. And my friend who was like there waiting for me because she was trying to audition as well. She was like, please show up. And I was like, okay, but I feel really, really sick. Like, okay, I'll come. And I went there and I was one of the last people in line. And I came in because they had already, after they called me, they had already sent me this like packet to fill out. And they asked like random questions. So I had already
How many
filled,
tattoos do you have and all that?
yes, all these random. And so I had already filled that out, so I didn't have to do that while I was there. And I was just like, they already gave me this? And they're like, oh yeah. So right away they put me into this room. I was in there for about an hour, and I saw most people like in and out within like 10, 15 minutes. But I was in there for like an hour. They gave me a glass of wine right away to help my hangover.
Of course.
And somehow they made me cry in that little hour I was in there. Like,
How did they make you cry?
they brought a pass, like, do you,
Maybe you were great for TV. She's crying.
Yeah. Your dating history or something
they
like that?
they brought up like my family and like dating history, and I'm like, oh God. But I remember that they had
I'll try
the
not to do
camera
that.
right there, and like, don't look at the camera, look at me, and I'm like, okay. Like, couldn't stop it. So that's like the first step, is definitely going in and doing that whole interview with the thing, or with the producer, just making sure you can actually look at him.
Sure.
Relevant, I guess.
Well, kudos to you for making the show completely hungover. I mean,
I don't know how that's possible.
that's a pretty incredible feat, I think.
Yeah.
So, Dustin, what was your audition experience like?
I think very similar. No, I wasn't hungover. Very similar. I mean, I was never used to like talking and speaking in front of a camera and in front of people. There wasn't that many guys there though either. I think for your guys,
Oh,
there's
there's
a lot of
so
girls,
many
right?
girls. So many.
I think I was the only guy.
And it was in Chicago.
Girls and guys?
No, it was just
Guys.
guys. Well, I don't know. I didn't see any girls.
Oh.
But yeah, it was at a hotel, and yeah, they just sit you in a room and they put this camera on you and they ask you about all these questions about your past history, moments you've been through, relationships and whatnot. And yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah, talking to a
weird.
stranger about that, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like me. Yeah.
Talk about your past relationships and exes and trying moments and whatnot. But yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
that was the first step.
Okay, so Dustin, you hadn't watched the show before. Amber, you had watched it before.
Yeah.
So when you actually made it, did you have a game plan kind of going in? Now, I don't believe in right reasons, wrong reasons. I like them all. Whatever reasons you're on the show, I'm cool with however you want to be there. But what was your kind of game plan going in, if you had one? And did you really want to fall in love with the person that was the Bachelor or Bachelorette?
Wait, the first time, or? Chris was not fun.
Chris, the farmer from Iowa, was Amber's
Chris
first
Soules was my
Bachelor,
first
depending on how far back you guys go.
Yeah, so Chris Soules was a dud. Like, so boring. You could not complete a sentence for the life of him. And I was just like, and I'm like, I'm not going to Iowa. So, but like, when I first got casted, they didn't know who the Bachelor was. So
Right.
it wasn't the same like how they do it now.
No, I didn't know either.
You kind of knew an idea.
Yeah, but I didn't know.
Maybe it depends, like, it depends year to year, maybe, depending on how long, like, they take to decide.
Because before, they
who it
didn't
is.
even tell, like, they didn't even tell the girls. They just pop out and you're like, this is the guy I guess I'm gonna marry.
Oh, sweet.
I didn't know until I went on live on Colton's the final rose.
Oh, okay.
They announced who she was, and that's when
Oh, okay, yeah. But, wait, what was the question?
So like, yeah, so well, obviously you were very excited about who the guy was. But
Yeah.
did you have a game plan of like, did you go into it like, I'm just gonna be me and whatever happens, happens, or did you kind of like think about it a little more strategically?
No, I definitely just went in trying to be myself. They asked me anyway, do I want to be a certain role?
Okay,
So,
see, that's the
like-
kind of stuff we're looking for.
Would you like to be the villain, you know, stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm alright, you know?
Yeah, sure.
So, and then they also like told me to come out of a limo in a certain type of dress. So I know they told some girls to come in like club wear, and they told me to wear a long dress. So that's what I did, because I thought everyone was going to be wearing long dresses.
Right, and then the girl came out in the chicken suit.
Yeah, so I didn't have like a game plan. I honestly like every step like in the audition process, I was like, I remember calling my mom and like, made it to another round. like there's, it's not only the first step of like going to the West End, there's like, you have to go to LA and interview with more producers. They like, you're like in one room with a producer and then all of a sudden you're walking into another room and there's like a group of producers like this and you're like, what?
That was terrifying.
Yeah. I was
It's like a room like this.
and you walk in and you're like, oh, hi, and then they're asking you questions. Chris Harrison was mine, and he asked me to dance, and also asked me if I would kiss on the first date, and I said, yeah, and then he was like, how would you kiss? And I'm like, do you want me to do it in the air? Like, what do you want me to do?
Chris Harrison got the best job.
So, yeah, then there's that stuff, and then you have to see a psych to make sure you're not insane.
Not a psychic.
Psych, and then you have to see a doctor, like get tested and all that. So there's a lot of steps before you can just get on the show.
Right. So Dustin, what was your kind of game plan, or if you had one going in?
I just wanted to go in there and be myself. Although it's hard to be yourself when you're out of your element. I tell people this all the time. Like, I didn't know any of the producers or any of the guys. So, and when you have all these cameras on you, like night one, it's just so hard to be your true self. Like, I was pretty much, I mean, if you guys watched, I was super quiet through the whole show because I didn't know how to be. I was just like, I don't want to say anything stupid. I don't want to embarrass myself. But yeah, I was kind of shell-shocked, but I was trying just to be myself. That's fine.
Sure. Good. I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
How did your family react? I know some of yours are in the crowd here tonight. When they found out you were going to be on the show. Maybe I should ask them.
Mom? Look at her. She was just like, oh my God. Like, oh my God. She's like, are you sure you want to do this? And I remember one time though, like after doing this a couple times, and then I got asked to do Paradise again. And my mom's like, you should have done it again. I'm like, what? Yes, you did.
No, I said, why won't they leave you alone?
Yeah, so anyway, so I think she was just like, please just be yourself. I don't want you to do the crazy one. And, you know, which I didn't want to do the crazy one either.
Well, just a quick personal story. My mom is not a fan of the show. She's here tonight. She's not a fan of the show. But for our Bachelor League, it's always exciting when the people are announced, you know, and you can find their bios on ABC. And my mom, I was sitting at work one day, and my mom was like, hey, what's going on with the Bachelor draft? You guys, you know, who are the new contestants? Like, something's weird here. You wouldn't just bring that up. She's like, oh, can you check it out? So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm very interested in this. So then I scroll down, and obviously Amber A, you're the first one. I go, probably freaked out everybody else in the office. But anyway. So Dustin, how about you? How did your family react when you got on the show?
I'm from a really small town, really small country town, so my family was just tickled to death. Like, they thought it was going to be the funniest, coolest thing, and it was the talk of the town for a while. So they were excited for me.
Cool. And Amber, for the second time around, on The Bachelor.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about how, if you can,
Sure.
about how that came to be.
I got just a phone call from the producers, and they're like, we think you didn't get a fair chance with Chris Soules. We have this other guy, his name is Ben Higgins. He's a huge diehard Cubs fan, like he's a Midwest guy. We think that you would like match with him a little bit better.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's the catch, like what? Because I think prior to that, Nick Vale just had went on Caitlin's season, and he was like, you know, he came on
Right,
late,
there was a
and
comeback
I was like, well,
person,
I don't
yeah.
want to be that person because of bagel or beer, no. So I was like, what's the catch? And then I kind of found out about Becca coming on too, so I was like chatting with her. I was like, okay, look, how are we going on? Like, when are we going on? I don't want to come on like after 3 weeks. So they're like, no, we're coming on in the beginning. So they did tell us a little bit more,
Okay,
like, more information.
sure, gotcha.
So I wasn't just like thrown in there.
Right.
Yeah, and that's definitely easier too, because like the first night when we go on the show, they literally just throw a battery pack on us and they're like, okay, time to go. And I'm like, I don't know how it's gonna be. Like you've never been in front of that many cameras ever. You just come out of the limo, a little tipsy again. Right? Were you?
They changed the rules for me.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna ask about that later.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a question queued up about that. So, I guess I'll bring it up to the audience now. If you have any questions for Amber and Dustin about the time leading up to the show that hasn't been answered already. Anybody?
We need to give you a wired mic so I can use this from now on.
Oh, okay. Sure.
So who's got a question? No one?
Don't be shy.
I got a lot
Who raised their hand?
stuff built up, so.
Oh, I thought you pointed.
Whose season were you on?
Me?
Yes,
Hannah Browns.
okay, that's what I was thinking. I wanted to make sure.
Any other questions?
Hey, that's great.
What was Hannah really like? What was she
Here,
really
wait.
like?
We just need the questions from the
Right here.
microphone. Was that you?
What was Hannah really like?
I say what you see is what you get. She's got a lot of energy, a high-spirited person, a lot of emotion as well. There were times where she really snapped off on us, and you knew you were in trouble. She's a great girl, though. Great girl.
Anyone else?
All right, well, that's a good segue because, leading us into the next category, which is the one-on-one date category of the evening, and that is the time on the show for each of you. Thank you, Court. I think they're just looking for a new microphone, or another microphone. So, gentleman here, your name again was? Yours, yeah. Julian, thank you for the question about Hannah. So that was actually my first question. What did you think of, I guess since Dustin's asked this one, or answered this one, and Amber, you answered it about Chris.
Yeah.
What were your preconceived notions about Ben?
Oh, Ben is great. I love Ben. I think he's great. I don't know necessarily if I would have married him, but he's a great, great person. Like, I had nothing bad about him.
Good. What was your best travel experience on the show? And it's a two-part question. Did you actually get to go out and kind of explore the cities that you were in, like without the cameras, or were you kind of just pigeonholed the whole time?
Yeah, on my season, we traveled to Newport, Rhode Island, Scotland, and Riga, Latvia.
Oh my goodness.
It's a total tease because you don't get to explore. The only time you get to explore really is when the camera's on and you're on like a date or something like that.
Sure.
But otherwise, you're pretty much locked inside your hotel, and it's like you have no access to your family, no phone, no TV, no radio. Which brings me, like, a lot of people ask, like, how do you become such good friends with these people? It's because you're traveling, you spend all these days and all these hours with someone that you really just get to know. And yeah, I've had conversations, deep conversations with most of these guys that I haven't even had with my lifelong friends. So it's a special, I don't know how to say it. I don't know. It's a special bond.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
But yeah,
and now those guys, I'm sure, are your lifelong
For
friends.
sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, traveling sucks. You go to these amazing places and you don't get to see everything. So
Yeah, when they went, they had like literally covered the televisions with like a sheet. And then they took all the phones out of the rooms, so you can't even try to sneak it. The only time I got to see a phone was like, I wanted to know the Bears score. And I was like, please just tell me what the Bears are winning, because like, I want to know. And she showed me, and then that was it. I was like, okay, thank you.
People talk about Jed and having his guitar, like they didn't like that, but honestly, that kept me so sane.
Yeah.
Jed playing his guitar and just playing music, and we just did sing-alongs.
Yeah. There were times like we would paint each other's nails and then wipe them off to repaint. We were so bored. Like in that bachelor mansion, you're only really allowed one kitchen, the main room, 4 rooms, and then our bedrooms.
Yeah, it gets old. And
And
that's
then
like
pool.
amazing. And I'm sure, I mean,
Yeah.
it is, but
It's like bigger. There's also another room on the side where they
get out of there.
have like all of these TV screens, and they literally watch each one of us on these screens.
Oh, gosh.
So like I could be, like by the pool, like talking to my friend, and all of a sudden a camera will be in our face and like, how did they find us? Because they know.
So when that first week comes when you actually are going somewhere, like that is legit enthusiasm from the entire crowd. Because I always thought that like, yeah, they're excited, and they're screaming at the top of their lungs, but no, this is like the most excited they've probably ever been in their lives to get out of that house.
Yeah, also like, I'll tell you guys, so before night 1, you're in a hotel room for 5 days.
Yeah.
Without, you
Your phone.
don't leave, you're stuck in there for
Yeah.
5 days.
You get
No
like 30
phone,
minutes.
you just have the TV. Luckily you have the TV.
And 30 minutes of workout time.
Yeah.
That's
so
it.
it's like prison. Like
Yeah.
it's the worst.
Somebody shuffling a tray of
I mean,
food
we
through
get to
under the
order
door.
You do room service.
Yeah, we do room service.
I eat a lot though. They didn't give me enough. Like,
Yeah,
I like to eat
they give
4 or
like
5 times a
allowance.
day. Yeah.
And then every once in a while, a producer will come in so you can talk to someone.
That's bad too. Because you never knew when they were going to come in. So like,
Yeah.
you have to take a shit or something.
We approved that with Vicky earlier.
But you don't want them to come in your room and smell like shit. TMI, but
Just lingering over the conversation.
like,
man.
Yeah.
let me know when you guys are gonna come in. I need to know this.
Yeah, and the girls, like the night 1, they do our hair and makeup at, I think they give us like different segments, but everyone's done by like noon. But, so have these nerves and your hair and makeup's done, and you don't actually start filming until dark, so 9 p.m. So you're sitting like trying to take a nap.
You're
You
talking about
can't. Night 1, yeah. And so, our hair and everything's done, and then they mic us, we're in the limo, and then we're up until 6 a.m. the next day. So no wonder we're crying. We want to go to bed.
I was literally in my suit. I didn't want to wrinkle it. Sitting down like this for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Watching TV. I thought they forgot about me. They told me to be ready by 7. They didn't come get me till 9. I was looking out the window like, but I was the last limo.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
There's also girls that I know that have been, like, gone through the whole audition process, have been in LA thinking they're going to be on the show, packing and everything, and then they're like, last minute, sorry, you didn't make it.
Yeah, I think they
Cutthroat.
They cut, like, really last minute.
So did the rose ceremony that first night take place at like that 6 a.m. when everybody's that delirious?
I would say later.
It's
I think ours was like around 8.
yeah, it's
Oh my
really
God.
long.
It's a long day.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
not like, and they're also, you're drinking, you're a little nervous, you're drinking a little bit, and then all these nerves, and then there's cameras everywhere. First night, there's so many cameras, and then after that, it kind of settles down, but first night, there's cameras everywhere.
So speaking of drinking, now back a few seasons ago, we haven't seen a guy jump in a pool in a suit in far too long. So what the heck happened? So I'm assuming that they put a limit or something on you guys. Dustin, you said that changed or something from when Amber was on the show.
Yeah. I was told, like, I'm not familiar, but I was told there was an incident that happened in Paradise.
Oh, yeah.
2 people
Corinne
were
and, yeah.
Oh,
too
gotcha.
intoxicated and things were said and whatnot. So they give you a 2-drink limit.
Maximum.
Per hour, right?
Per hour.
They didn't do that for us.
Yeah, 2 ounces each.
But that's they would short you on the ounces too. So it would literally take you all day to get drunk if that was your goal, which it was mine a lot of times.
I think you have to deal with all this.
Yeah, they don't like you taking naps either. They really don't. Like, they control the lights in your bedroom.
Oh yeah, the lights don't go off until late.
Yeah, so it's like 3 a.m. sometimes, and you just want to go to bed, and they're like, you gotta wait till the one-on-one date comes back so people can talk to you. And I'm like, I want to go to bed, but the lights are this bright, and you're sleeping in this tiny bunk bed. I like requested the bottom bunk the last time I went because I wanted to make a fort. So I went to go to bed.
So don't judge people when you see them crying
Yeah,
and like
literally.
break down. It's they probably haven't had much sleep and
And this is also a little too much information.
No, nothing is.
Literally night one, I've never met these women in my life, and this is a lot. Sometimes, like, all of us synced in, we all started a period that day. We were like, I've never met you, and everyone did. And we were like,
5 days in the hotel.
it was just like, I started like, so did this girl, so did this girl, so did this girl. I'm like, what? So now we're cranky. And we don't want to eat, we gotta look skinny.
How excruciating are the group dates? Or maybe they're not. But how did you balance kind of like having fun, if you could have fun? Because it doesn't sound like you had much of it up to this point in the conversation. But how did you balance having fun on the group dates with trying to get the one-on-one time with the Bachelor or Bachelorette?
The dates are actually really fun. Like you do get an activity. It's just everything's dragged out so long. I think that so before your activity even starts, you might have like 3 hours that you're in the bus just waiting to go out there, or you're just getting cameras ready and whatnot. But the activities are a blast. Like I love the activities. So again, going out there, I just wanted to be myself and have fun. And a lot of times that energy feeds off and the other person's attracted to it. So whoever you're trying to get time with, they see that you're having a good time, they also have a good time.
Sure. So what were the couple of experiences that you liked the most on the group dates?
I did roller derby on mine. I don't know if you guys remember. I got hurt. I like sprained my ankle really bad on there, which that gave me time with Hannah later on. And
Right. Yeah. Nice move there, Dustin.
Some other ones, rugby. I didn't get to play rugby. I was still hurt. And that's what I got.
Oh yeah, there was drama on that rugby date, if I remember correctly. Luke P. Luke P going nuts. Yeah, tell us a little bit about that. Tell us about Luke P, actually. I know you're probably so sick about Luke P. I have to ask. And we can keep it short.
Any Luke P fans out here?
No, remember Luke P, he was a nut job. At least that's how it came across.
He is.
He is a little crazy. Honestly, without even all of that, like I don't talk to him, I don't hang out with him. But he's so corny, even off camera, that makes me so unrelatable to him, the things he says and does. I just could never really, I mean, if I was around him, I would be like, decent to him, for sure. But
Unlike most of the guys, seem like.
they were pretty
Yeah.
rough on him. But, I mean, he brought it upon himself.
Yeah.
That's what he wanted, I guess.
Yeah.
But what you see with Luke P is what you get. He's exactly that.
Good to know. Amber, what about you on the group dates?
Which one? Oh, one was like an obstacle course, which we had to drink goat milk, and I wasn't about to do that. And then another one we did was a soccer match. And it was just supposed to be a quick 15-minute game, which we were okay with, but it turned into a 90-minute game. And I couldn't walk afterwards. I was like, oh my God, I couldn't even like cheer. They wanted me to like slide on my knees and like cheer, and I was like, I can't move. Like, I can't move.
You literally just made me play a professional soccer match.
Like, we had to play a long field for 90 minutes. It was not fun. None of us liked it. No time with fun at all.
I would say, they think it was misogynist after.
Nope, no
we went
misogynist.
in Scotland, we had the Highland Games,
Yeah.
and we did get a massage after that, which was nice. I mean,
They've come a long way.
a lot of people talk bad about the production, but I mean, those massages were nice.
How do the producers decide on filming like the personal interviews with you guys? Like all the little snippets, individual snippets that you see. Is there always a camera on every one of you, or what's the format of those personal interviews like?
Like in the beginning?
Just like, no, not in the beginning, just like throughout the show, you know, that they sprinkle in?
People do, so all day, each day every day that you're on there, you're gonna have personal interviews and questions about what's going on. And it's, you just can't get around it, you have to do them. Sometimes they're nice, you know, you just express how you feel, and it's kind of nice to talk to someone and just describe what you're going through.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone does that.
Yeah. I know, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I know sometimes they have you like remember what you're wearing like the night, like say day 2 or something. So they'll be like, hey, what did you wear on this date? And it might be like 5 days later. So you have to like remember how you wear your hair, like what outfit you wore, stuff like that, because they'll ask you 5 days later. So you're just basically like, hey, how do you feel about this date, even though you already had it? You're just like, oh my God, I can't wait for this date to happen, even though I'm like, this date sucked. The date sucked. But you're like, have to like, so there's a little bit of acting, I guess. And you have to like remember to say like, I think, instead of like, like you have to talk
in the past tense.
Yeah. So it's kind of hard. You're like, wait, you gotta say it this way. I'm like, oh yeah, gotta say it this way.
How closely did you follow like the internet as your show was going on to see like reaction? You're getting a little serious here. To see like the reaction your public reaction on the internet, like directly about you. Did you follow it closely?
As we're watching the show.
As you're watching the show, the season that you were on, you know, either one of you can start. But yeah, how closely did you follow like internet comments and stuff about you? That were being made about you personally?
I would say cyberbullying is a real deal. Like people are mean, but I mean it didn't really bother me. But yeah, some people are really cruel out there.
Well, I was even going to ask you, like specifically, does anybody not like you? Because you seemed like everybody on the show, and this goes for you both, honestly. Like there was you guys weren't like the villains at all. You never really had any big major confrontations. I guess you had the one with Jubilee, but that was like, well, we can get into that. I did some research on that today, but did some YouTube watching. But so even though like you weren't even controversial in a negative way on the show, you still had negative feedback.
Yeah, I think it doesn't matter who you are, if you do a show or not. I think that's something we all deal with, so.
I feel like some people took it, I know my one friend, she took it really hard. I'm like, why are you reading that? Like, these people mean nothing to us. Right. Also, these people, if they saw you, would not be that rude to your face. They would probably want to take a picture with you, you know?
Right.
So I always ignore it. I know my mom read some of them. I'm like, why are you reading them? It's stupid.
It's hard to avoid. Sure.
Yeah, I'm like, whatever. I guess bad news is...
I kind of wanted to reply back to a lot of them.
Some of them I would just ignore, but Alon said that the more that they're talking about you, I mean, that's good.
Yeah.
Even if it's bad.
Right. Right. So that's what they want you to think.
Yeah.
So open it up to the audience here about questions. If you have questions for Amber and Dustin when they were actually on the show, in the process of the show, anybody?
This alcohol thing. It appeared for us that all of you were drinking all of the time. Now you said that there was a limit.
There was a limit on mine. Yeah,
there wasn't a limit on mine.
There wasn't a limit.
The limit only started about since Corinne and what's his name? I don't know, something happened on Bachelor in Paradise and there was like this whole thing afterwards, and then they started giving limits. But before, we could drink.
So did most of you drink a lot?
They would bring a tray of mimosas every morning to us.
Okay.
Just to like, that's how we woke up.
Okay.
And I was like, sure, whatever. Dude.
And then throughout, when you always saw someone drinking, had a glass, was it always alcohol?
No, not everyone drank, but during rose ceremonies, there's always like a catering like type of thing. So people are there to give you a drink whenever you want, so you don't have to make it yourself. But every other day, like if we wanted to drink, put whatever in our coffee, whatever you want to do. You can
Yeah,
do.
it just appeared that no matter where you were or what you were doing, you were drinking.
Nothing else to do.
Hey, I felt
There was nothing else to
I feel
do.
good. Thank you.
So I heard that you're not allowed books unless it's like a religious text. Is that true? So like you can't even,
You can bring any book you like.
you can
Yeah,
bring
I
books?
think these books are okay.
Okay, are you guys like,
No, go look.
like board games? Are you guys like at least games for you guys to stay active? Not active, but like something to do?
We had cards. We played spades a lot.
Yeah.
Spades, and again, we had Jed to sing along with.
It's really not, it is
It's a
really
long
boring.
day. I mean, it's a long
Yeah.
day, so.
Especially if you're like not on any date, you're just sitting in the house. Like there's pool or inside.
And you're doing your interviews and whatnot.
There's not a gym or anything, so there's like this little mini hill that's behind that we would like run up and down just to maybe do something. But that's it.
For like the personal interviews that you guys have, I was wondering if they like, because for this past season with Kelsey, the whole like champagne ordeal, I just remember like she started the interview with like do I think Hannah Ann is a snake? Yes. Like it kind of seems set up. Do they kind of set you up to say stuff like that?
They'll be like, they might be like, yeah, what do you think of Hannah Ann? Are you mad at Hannah Ann? Do you think like, they're gonna try to get it out of you?
Yeah. Or like they'll be like, so do you think that? And you're like, yeah, actually I do think Hannah Ann is a snake or whatever you're maybe. And then you're like, crap, I just said that, now it's on TV. So they kind of like manipulate you a little bit.
Hannah Brown's season. So you apparently knew Peter the pilot,
Yeah, it's my buddy.
your buddy.
Yeah.
So when you watched the show live, were you very surprised that she discarded him?
Oh,
Or
for,
did you think that he was the bachelor to marry him?
oh, on Hannah's, on my season that I was on, when she got rid of him, was I shocked? I don't know. Like at the time, it was Peter, Tyler, and Jed. I think the whole time, like most of us guys, we felt like Jed and Hannah had like a great relationship. Like we all kind of thought like Jed was going to be with her. I don't know if I said I was surprised, but I mean, Peter's a catch. I wouldn't mind seeing them together. You know, they're both great people. Just didn't work out. If that
It
answers I
seemed
don't know.
like that one night together worked out.
I know, right? Oh man.
So how much of a notice do you guys actually get if you're gonna pack up and go to a different city or a country? Because it makes it look like Chris comes down like, hey, you're going to Scotland, the plane leaves in 20 minutes, go. So like how much of advance do you get to pack up and everything?
So they tell us that, and we get up and they film us getting packing. But I think it's like, I think you have a day off, like day off without cameras, and you can just be like free and relax. And I think that day is included with the travel days.
Right. Yeah, there's no like, we don't have any mics when we're like at the airport or anything. But then you pack that day, you have to pack everything. And then I think you can
It
ship
depends. I
stuff
think
too if you want to, get rid of some stuff.
I think it all depends. Like I think when we first left, they told us that, and we had the rest of that day off, no cameras or anything, and the next day was a dead day to where we were traveling. So it might be 24 hours before you leave or something like that.
I have a quick question. On the private, not dates, but conversations, so if it's a group date and then somebody takes, one of the bachelor or bachelorette takes one person off to the side to have a conversation, and someone comes in to steal or swoop in, are they not allowed to say no?
You are allowed to say it. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
You can say
I guess, so I'm new to Bachelor Nation, I will admit. He got me hooked on it. But so everyone I've seen, they always just say, oh yeah, come on in. I'm curious if there's other things I was curious if they were allowed to say no, but then also what else they do to help stir the pot or cause more drama.
Yeah, you can for sure say no.
Producers kind of throw you in there too, like, Amber, you want to talk to them? And then, so they'll be like, go steal them away right now. Even though you're like, dang it, like I know that she just got it. And then be like, go steal them. And I'm like, can I steal you? It's like awkward, but you're like, and you want to be like, I'm so sorry, I'm sorry. But yeah, producers kind of like throw you in, or if you want to go talk to them, sometimes they'll be like, no, hey, why don't you come and have a one-on-one with me? You're like, what? Then they'll take you away for an hour.
It's not freely. It's not like you can just go.
Yeah.
Like I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go get her. Like it's not like that at all. But yeah, you can say no. I remember Mike said no to Cam like 3 times. Cam was really annoying. Cam, I'll give Cam to Cam was so funny. Like the first week in the house, he was like so funny. It was hilarious. He was playing his harmonica. Yeah, he was cooking for everybody. So I mean, if you cook for me, you're okay. But then he just started getting so weird. Like he started getting in his own head. Lost his confidence.
ABC.
He
wasn't being ABC. So then he like made up a story about, or they made it appear like he made up a story about like his dog died or something, and then that was like the worst thing that ever happened in his entire life.
Something with his grandpa dog died. He hurt his knee. He just threw it all in there. He took everything that he could mix up. Sorry for me, I know it. Just threw it out.
Time to get a D on his test. All right. Okay. Time for segment number 3, the long limo home. Now your exits. How was it getting in the limo to go home? What were your emotions like? What was the actual process of like the limo? Are you ready to go? Where does the limo go? So I know that was a lot of questions.
No, that's right.
But whoever wants to start first.
With Chris, I was at the house still. And so the night of every rose ceremony, unless you got a rose prior, you have to pack your bags. Everyone does, unless you have a rose. So you're already packed. And then...
Checked in on your Southwest flight.
Yeah. So, and then when you don't get a rose, whatever they say, they walk you out or whatever, you walk out. And as soon as that happens, you're just like, okay, they throw you in a van. Well, they threw me in a van.
So I was in the van too. I didn't get the limo treatment.
No limo. There's no limo.
Shoot, I'm sorry.
After you get eliminated, like when you get on the show, there's a driver that comes picks you up. There's all, like, they'll help you with your bags. Very nice. Like Amber, when you're eliminated.
I love that moment. It was always my dream to have someone with my name. I recorded it. I was like,
Yeah, you have your phone for that last little second, and then as soon as you get to the producers, they take your phone right away. Like when you first get there, but when you leave, they
kick your ass out.
Yeah, they just throw you in a van. Your bags come a little later. They put you in a hotel for that night. They book you the flight the next night. No one helps you with your bags at all. And then you just get it in a taxi and go back to the airport.
And you got to figure out how to get from the airport home, I assume.
Yep.
Jerks.
Wait, they didn't take you to the airport?
Oh yeah, they took you to the
No,
airport.
from like the airport when you actually land
When you get to
in Chicago, you gotta like.
Oh yeah, you're on your own.
You're on your own. Back home. So I didn't
Just
know,
arrange a
like,
lift or something.
my first time I called my friend, I'm like, can you pick me up? I just got eliminated.
Literally the feeling of getting dumped.
Yeah, there's
You were
like-
just-
I don't even think I told my mom I got eliminated right away.
You did? It's a weird feeling. Like, I tell people, like, I wasn't really emotionally invested in Hannah like that. But when you get dumped, it's just, no one likes rejection.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a weird feeling that way. I was actually ready to come home though. It had been a long journey. And I was...
Journey.
Yeah. Amazing journey.
Yeah, I was in Eastern Europe. I felt so far away from home, and I was just ready to come home too. And so happened I just went home that week. But
Did you go straight like to your hometown after that to see family, or just go back to Chicago?
I went. Well, Yeah, I came to Chicago and I just went straight home to see family for a week to like figure out what's going on. Like, is this real life and all this? And yeah, it just took some time to get myself together. But it is awkward and weird and getting removed for sure. Like, they send you off.
Yeah, well, and like you said, yeah, rejection's never fun. So even if you weren't, invested, that still kind of. So what was adjustment back to reality like for you, Amber?
The first.
The first, yeah, I guess the first time.
No, right.
Chris's season.
Christmas season, like I said, I came back, I was like, I called my friend, he picked me up. I was just sleeping on his couch. I was sleeping a lot. I was so tired. And then I finally called my mom and a bunch of my friends. I'm like, hey guys, I'm back. Not married. And then with Ben, so it was just a little bit easier. But after I got eliminated with Ben, like I remember walking and then they were like, just walk straight. And I was like, and I took a little turn, went by the pool, and I just sat there for a good hour and a half. And then Ben actually came by and talked to me for a good hour afterwards. We were gonna go swimming, but they were like, nah, can't have that happen. You just got eliminated. I'm like, okay. And then another girl that got eliminated, we were in Vegas, so another girl that got eliminated, I texted her right away and I said, let's go gamble. Like, they have no control of us anymore. So we actually went out that night in Vegas.
That probably been the most fun night out in your life, maybe.
Yeah, but the psych came and talked to me to make sure I was okay. So she just like, how are you feeling? I'm like, don't worry, I'm all right.
Did they do that does the site talk to everybody in the
Talk to you?
The psych is there at all times.
All times, yeah.
I love talking to the psych because at times I was like, I don't know what have I gotten myself into. Like, it plays with your head a lot. Like, it's a weird feeling. Like, it's so unsurreal, and you have no things that comfort you, as in like TV, your phone, your family.
Those comfort you.
Yeah, like you wouldn't believe how easy it is. Like everyone, you guys all know, like before you go to bed, you probably check your phone and it just kind of relax you and you just go. But like when you're just sitting there with nothing and you just have so much thinking in your head. So the psyche was good.
Yeah,
like,
she was nice.
I talked to her a lot, honestly. I don't think I'm crazy by any means. But
So you're basically in a white wall.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I actually love talking to her.
Cool.
What was the question again? I forgot.
I don't know. Well,
Getting back to reality?
Yeah, getting back to reality, yeah.
I loved how they, like when you're traveling, they have like the hotels prepare meals for you. That was awesome for me. I just love to eat, and if I don't have to prepare it, and I can just eat whenever I want, that was really nice. So coming back, having to buy groceries and cook definitely sucks.
Yeah, the house, like, besides night one, we have to cook ourselves like every
In the
day.
mansion.
Yeah, so it's not like people are cooking for us. It's like a sorority or frat, I guess. So every morning, we usually took turns. We have like a grocery list that we write down if we want certain stuff. And then they go out shopping for us, and then we just have to like cook on our own. We eat whenever we want. So it's basically that. And then hair and makeup, I know a lot of girls ask, like, do we do hair and makeup first night only? And in the mansion, there's 1, 2, I think 3 mirrors for all of us. The big bathroom, I guess. The big one. So there's like that big bathroom, but there's I don't even think there's a full-length mirror.
I don't think so either.
No. And then they have 2 other bathrooms. One bathroom downstairs has like a gate over it. And then the other bathroom, there's no mirror at all. The one downstairs.
Yeah. All these nice verandas and bathrooms are crap.
Like, on the right side, there was a bathroom in there and shower.
Yeah, but there was a gate over the mirror. Remember the gate?
There was no gate over our mirror.
Oh, they put a gate. So you can't even see yourself.
The whole thing just sounds like prison. One of the questions I had about the house that I forgot to answer earlier was how the heck did you guys decide like whose room was whose?
It was.
They already do.
They arranged it?
Yeah.
I would have loved to see those fights.
There's like one big room.
It's a big room on the far left corner. It's the master bedroom.
Yeah. And then
that fits like, what's like 4 bump beds in there, maybe more? More than that.
10. 3 on one side, 2 on the
And
other.
you have the other side that has 2 rooms that have
246.
3 bump beds.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then.
And what the heck is Chris Harrison doing this whole time?
Who knows? He's got the
He's
best job.
a mystery man.
Literally, you guys see him as much as we do on
Yeah.
the show.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we don't see him.
He just pops
He
up.
comes in
This is as good as I.
to ding, ding, ding.
We did one time when we were traveling though. We took we did a shot of whiskey in Scotland with him and one of the producers and whatnot before we all loaded up on the plane. But he's honestly
He's a recluse.
he's like
Enigma.
a normal guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he literally has the best job ever.
He does. He does. So, how often do you still get recognized? And I saw you already got a couple pictures in today, but before the program started. But how often do you still get recognized? How many times do you still get stopped on the street? How many picture requests do you get? I mean, I know Dustin was just recently, but
Yeah, I'm shocked that I still get recognized. When girls come up to me, I'm like, what? You know me? Like, literally shocked. I was just telling him on the way here, I was like, Instagram had just started, pretty much, like, it was around, but like, when you started getting paid to do stuff,
yeah.
that wasn't around when I was first on it until, like, I would say a year and a half later. And then it was like, okay, now they're posting about the girls before they were on the show.
Right. So yeah, they have a
Yeah.
familiarity. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and before they were like nothing. You didn't have Facebook. They made me turn off my Facebook. They made sure I had my Instagram off. I couldn't even do anything. And now I know the girls that are on it now or last year or whatever, they can keep their stuff on and people are just going on, which is great for them.
Yeah.
So
Everybody else is like, gosh, dang.
I know. What the heck? No kidding.
It's okay. You're still there.
How about you, Dustin?
What was the question?
How often do you get recognized, like picture requests on the street if you're walking around? Is it to a point of where it's annoying? Oh, that sort of stuff.
No, I don't think I get noticed that much, but like if I go out to a bar, it's never when I just go out and people are drinking, people notice me, and if one person takes a photo, people look around and see what's going on, and then it's just carries on. Does it get annoying? I would say it would only get annoying if it was like a lot of people like taking my, like we went to Lollapalooza this year. Mike was with me, you guys know Big Mike. We went to Lollapalooza.
Everybody loves Big Mike.
And
Okay.
we couldn't get to our concert because people kept on wanting to take photos and whatnot. So it was a bit much. But other than that, it's all good.
So how many of your castmates do you still hang out with and talk to? And how many Bachelor functions do you get invited to or you attend or? None? Besides one, besides this one, of course. Yeah, the best one you'll do all year.
I don't necessarily like hang out with the girls on my season because they're all over. I mean, I still hang out with like Sam. I saw Jordan with Spets, whatever. But
I remember when we FaceTimed Jordan from Newsies, the Newsies the musical. When Amber and I went to Newsies the musical together, along with the rest of my family, which is kind of unusual setup. We had an extra ticket and we asked her. We saw her at Christmas Eve church and just asked if she wanted to go because like me and my brother and my dad were like, we got to figure out what happened on The Bachelor. And we love hanging out with them too.
that was fun
We
though.
do. It was. So anyway, I remember FaceTiming Jordan in intermission. I can't get enough of this
great.
Bachelor interaction. Anyway, so who else do you guys?
I feel like we all like hang out with the Chicago people.
Chicago people is fun to hang out with. It's
Yeah.
like a fraternity, sorority.
Yeah. And there's like 5 girls this season that are from Chicago.
Oh yeah, there was a lot.
Right? 5. Oh yeah, there it is. I didn't do
We have a group message on our Instagram with all the guys, really most of the guys from our season where we just shoot the shit, play around. But I would say my top guys that I had the deepest chats with were Mike, Peter, and Tyler. Those are the guys I roomed with the most and spent the most time with. And we still talk here and there, hang out and catch up. I just saw Mike a couple weeks ago in Texas. Saw Peter last month in December. I saw Tyler too in LA too. So my guys.
You always hear a little whisper going around when the name Tyler is brought up. How's Tyler doing? Does he have a lady in his life?
I don't know. That guy. I told him he needs to play the lottery. That's what he needs to do because this is his year for sure. Like, blew up, dating like the most beautiful women in the world.
Yeah.
I don't know who he's dating right now though. I stay out.
Okay. What about you two? Anybody anybody in the picture?
No.
Okay.
Just chilling.
I'm chilling.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
we're chilling.
Anybody in the audience have a question for Amber and Dustin about life after The Bachelor?
Number one, I want to know if you had it to do all over again, would you do it again?
I would do
Yeah.
it. I have nothing negative to take away from
Me
it.
neither.
Yeah.
Good,
I learned a lot about myself too.
good.
That's good.
So
Yeah.
it's changed your life in a positive way.
Yeah, I would say so for sure.
Okay. With all the many people who saw you, did anyone ever contact you outside the show to want to date you, want to get to know you better?
I've seen weirdos.
Every day.
Not the weirdos, not the weirdos.
No.
Somebody good.
Something good? It's hard to weed them out.
Yeah, I don't know which ones are weird or just
Yeah, on social media, on the internet, yeah, it's
weird.
It's a lot easier to connect with people. So I do get like a lot of messages here and there, but I'm just kind of it's too much pressure. I'm just kind of like just hanging out by myself at the moment.
It's kind of hard, like I feel like more for the guys anyway, because there's obviously more fan base of women that like the guys. And I go out with him and like Clay, and I see these girls like swarming towards them, and I'm just like, do they like you or do they like you because you're on the show? You know?
Sure.
It's hard to know if they like you for you.
Yeah.
They like
Sure.
you just for you to be on the show, so that's why I'm just hanging out too. Just I might be on Paradise, we'll see, who knows.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from Southern Illinois. Marion, Illinois.
Sure.
Like Carbondale.
Sure.
Small country
And so
town.
what are you doing now?
No.
Just chilling?
No, I do real estate in Chicago, so I'm a real estate broker. I'm also a server. I used to model for an agency too, but just cut that. So, yeah,
Good.
I stay busy.
And Amber, what are you doing now?
I'm in sales in Chicago. I work at the merchandise.
Go sales.
Yeah, I'm in merchandise mart downtown.
Good,
So yeah,
good. Okay,
still around.
thank you.
Gotta work.
Thank you.
Has the time on the show opened up any other opportunities for you afterwards?
I would say, I would say I get invited to a lot more events, get some kind of sponsorships because I like to stay active and run, so I've had some deals coming through Instagram. So yeah, opportunities do come.
Yeah,
For sure.
I would say so too. Definitely, I love doing different things in Chicago, especially just because that's where we live, and
Yeah.
charity events are awesome. Like we love supporting them. So it's good to, and it's different. You know, not everyone is going to these events, and it's better than just like going to a bar and getting a bottle of service for comped or whatever. You know, it's better.
I love charity events.
Yeah, and you meet a lot of great people there. What?
I'm just curious, what do you tell your employer? Hey, I might be going on the show, I might be back in a week, I might be back in 6 weeks. What do you tell your employer? I'm just kind of curious.
Yes, that sucked.
I took a leave of absence. I couldn't tell them when I was going to come back because, of course, I didn't know. I just told them the frame that I could be gone for up to 3 months. They were fine with it, but I know a lot of other guys on the show, they lost their jobs.
Wow.
So it's just like, if you really want to do it, you just got to pay a price.
You don't get paid, so you have to like literally figure out rent and bills and everything.
Puppy arrangements.
Yeah.
Really good stuff.
Anybody else out there? Life after the show?
Did you have to buy your own clothes? Did you wear what you wore on the show? Did you have to buy
Yeah.
everything yourself?
Yeah, you can bring everything. I had like a, what did we do? Like we had like a, it a girls' night, and I just said, any dresses you guys don't need right now, like that I could borrow.
Oh, that's smart.
Because I didn't want to buy a bunch of dresses. And like, yeah. Well, suits are easy. I feel like you just switch your tie and you'd be like, different outfits. Like, if I were like the same dress, I'd be like, Amber wore the same dress 2 rooms in a row. Yes, they would.
So Dustin, did you have like a bachelor party, like going away to the bachelor party?
Going away? Yeah,
With
we
your
had
friends, like,
my friends thid me a surprise one. We did karaoke. It was a good time.
I guess we'll go on and maybe go out on a limb later. It's a karaoke scene unlike you've ever
I
seen.
love karaoke.
That's my favorite. Coming down here.
Hey, Amber, have you guys tried dating, the two of you?
We've known each other a long time, actually. I actually knew him before he went on the show. I met him
2012.
Yeah, like before either of us were on the show. So it was like random.
We're just friends.
Yeah, we're friends.
Did you have one?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, is there like a dress code? Like you can't show up to the rose ceremony in joggers and a t-shirt, I'm assuming? So like, are they like, oh, that dress is not fancy enough, you can't wear that? Or like,
Well, that's what I was saying, like sometimes they told the girls like to dress a certain way. But you see these girls showing up in costumes all the time, you know? Like Alexis, I think, did. They're changing, you know, wear pajamas or whatever.
That's by their choice. That's by the production.
That's-
So I don't know if people have the. I don't know.
I know they just told us like first day, they always ask you like, what are you wearing at the
Yeah.
rose ceremony? And I'm like, okay, this is what I'm wearing. And I'm like,
Yeah, they
oh,
make
yeah,
sure
that
it's
looks
okay.
good. Yeah, that looks good. Or it's a little see-through, like, so don't wear that, obviously.
That's a classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
But like the cameras are on you, obviously, so they want to just make sure it's good for television, so they always check.
Yeah, there's some patterns they don't want you to wear because they say it's bad for TV. Like
They
certain
want
patterns.
more
Yeah.
solid. Also, like if every girl's wearing a red dress, like they don't want that either. So they might say like, maybe wear this the next time.
I love it when too many girls are wearing the red dress.
They did that on
Yes.
someone's season, mixed or something.
But,
I don't know. They do that on purpose, though. I think.
One down here.
Grandma.
Amber's grandma.
I know you got some dresses, borrowed some dresses, Amber, but how did you know what else to take so that you could be dressed appropriately for wherever you were going?
That's true.
Yeah, they give us a list. So obviously bathing suits, because duh. Dresses, and then they'll just say like pack one winter coat, pack blah blah blah, like stuff like that. But also I know when they travel to like colder climates, I think they do give them. If you have like a one-on-one, I think they give them a jacket. Yeah, I know back in
I
the-
never got a one-on-one.
Oh yeah, well, regardless, I think like if they're going to like a winter sport, they'll be like, okay, we're gonna give you some snow boots. We don't pack snow boots, like we don't know. So they'll give you like that.
But they'll
type
try
of
to
stuff.
guide you, which is confusing too. They'll tell you like, okay, dress for like this temperature or this and that.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
kind of know based off there where you're gonna be if you travel.
Was anything scripted or like staged?
There was no like script, like we would never like read anything, but like when we were saying, when we do those interviews, they might put a little bit of words in your mouth, just so you're like, do you maybe feel this way? And I'm not gonna lie, like at 3 a.m., I'm tired, yes, I feel this way, I wanna
Just
go to
say
bed.
everything just to go to bed. But the thing is, nothing's scripted. What people say is what they say, it's how they feel, the heat of the moment. So that's all real. I would also, people also ask if it's scripted. Like we're all normal people, we're not actors or actresses. So that would just be bad news. I feel like you would be able to tell right away if we were recording scripts.
So the whole like champagne thing.
It's so
I think that was set. I think that was set. I think both girls were set up for that.
Oh yeah.
But I think there was a mastermind behind that.
Sure.
I don't think the two girls that were involved
But
were.
they didn't know.
Yeah, but they're the ones that are going at it for it, you know?
I know like one time I came back into my room and my entire suitcase was scattered out in the like, you know, like the balcony area. Everything was scattered out there. And I simply just picked it back up and put it back in our room. So I was like, I'm not gonna like, who threw my suitcase outside? You know, like, 'cause I know none of them did it. Yeah, but they had and I have this teddy bear that I really love, and he was outside, and I was really mad about that. But the clothes, I was like, whatever, but I was like, threw brownie outside.
Yeah, you're in control of what you want to do.
Yeah, like I could have done that a little differently, but yeah.
So I'm just curious because there's so much talk about the production and all the details, but do you guys actually, or do most people actually have feelings for the Bachelor or the Bachelorette? Like, is that real? And what do you do if you're like not feeling it and you're not getting sent home?
Like for my case, like I wasn't getting that much time with Hannah. So I of course, you have to get time to kind of develop those feelings and get to know one another. So I was kind of ready to go. You know, just like I don't know if I'm feeling it right now. And they were also asking me about hometowns, and I was like, hell no. You know, but it's funny, they asked me questions about my hometown, and they actually called my grandmother too. And then she was like having a heart attack. She was like, oh my gosh, I never thought you'd get this far. I hope they don't come. So when I got voted off, or not voted off, but I got sent home, she was so thankful. Yeah, production didn't have to come to my house anymore.
Yeah. I feel like when you're in this process, you know, you have this one person there, and you have that's who you focus on. Obviously, there's not a bunch of other guys there, so you're just focused on that one person. And you see people coming home from like these hometown dates talking, oh my God, like he's the best person ever. And even if you didn't think that, you're like, well, maybe he is the best person ever. And am I messed up? Like,
Yeah, like again, you have no distractions. You don't have work. You don't have cell phones, music, anything to keep you distracted from that. The focus is
on that
strictly on that person.
Yeah.
It's expedited. So like, I feel like those feelings are real. I don't know if it's necessarily love. I feel like love takes a lot of time, in my opinion, you know, years. But I think feelings are valid, though. People do develop feelings in that situation.
The first night of the first rose ceremony, the Bachelor or Bachelorette has just met 30 women, 30 men. How do they actually remember their names when they're giving out their roses?
That's a good one. I just talked to Peter about this.
They go out of the room.
No. He knew before that.
Oh, my guy went out of the room.
They always go out of the room, but I think that's just for the cameras.
No, they go out of the room to look at our photos and see our names.
Yeah.
They go out, they go in, they say, you think they say them all in a row.
Peter he told me they have a list of names and photos like before the night even starts.
Sure. They do.
So he's already like memorizing the names and whatnot, especially when he meets them and puts them together.
And he didn't remember that one girl on the first episode.
Well, maybe Peter did differently.
The girl that had that horrendous joke. Which she couldn't even go through with. I'm not even going to really say it here. We'll talk about it after.
Well, I know.
They do leave sometimes.
They leave. And they just like, they say 3 names at a time. 3 names, then they go out of the room, come back. Another 3 or 4 names, go out of the room, come back. So they can look. If they need to look. Some girls don't even talk to the guy on the first night. Or girl. So they can't really know their name.
So the other one, so the girls who are labeled to be like, you know, the bitches, or the ones that are, you know, the ones that are so dramatic, do they want to be that way?
Maybe.
That could just be honestly who they are.
So they're not asked to be like, oh, you be the bitch because, you know, you seem like you'd be a good bitch, or you could be, you know, the one that's annoying.
Are you trying to my
Or villain.
villain? Olivia was one of my villains. Olivia, she had the big mouth. So she was the sweetest person ever. She's not really
I think
B-word or
I think production doesn't even know really, because everyone seems so sweet and nice at the beginning, but like when you're put into testing moments, I think that's when your character really shows. So I know one thing one of the producers told us is they cannot make you seem like an asshole if you're not an asshole. So, I mean, everything you say or do, that's going to be things that, you know, they can't make someone like a good person that's staying out in drama seem like the villain, if that makes sense. They're asking for it if they're being a certain way.
We created a rule in our fantasy league called the Olivia rule, where because she was always being complained about to was it Chris or Ben?
It was Ben.
She was always being complained about to Ben, like by other women.
Yeah.
So if you in our league, if you have somebody who's always getting complained about, like directly, you get points.
You get points.
Yeah, and you get negative points if you're you have a person who's.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
That's funny.
We got one more for Grandma.
Yeah.
Grandma.
You've mentioned several times about the psych talking to you, and there was one year that there was a girl who was talking to rocks, and she was a real nutcase. Now, where was the psych when she was?
Actually, yes.
It's busted.
No, she was a little crazy. That was not edited. I remember going, so we also have this doctor, okay? So if you take meds or anything, the doctor gives you what you're supposed to take weekly, okay? So you only get your weekly meds. Not saying she's on a lot of them, but maybe she took more than what she should have, whatever. She was drinking, and that one day I remember she was just walking around. We were at a, what is it, paintballing, and it was like zombies were there, and she was just like, what are you doing? Because she's so smart. It was like really weird. Like, yeah, she is.
She was a real Fruit Loop.
I mean, she's doing something. She's married now with 2 kids. Well, she has one coming on the way, but.
Some crazy people find crazy.
Yeah.
You've seen the movie, the TV show You?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Don't watch this horrible. You're not going to. Just a moment, where's the battery?
Oh, sure. Okay. Okay.
We're back.
You want to say it again? Okay.
So Amber, on the way down here tonight, the two of you carpooled, right?
Yes,
Correct. Okay. So Amber, being from Kankakee, what have you told Dustin? Either, I guess you knew each other beforehand, but what kind of stories about Kankakee, or Dustin, how has Amber painted Kankakee?
What would you guys like to know?
Yeah.
You talk. I mean, she didn't tell me much, but this pizza place we're supposed to go to after this, that's all
Monocles.
That's all I've been hearing about. So I guess we're going to see if it lived up to its expectations.
We're going to Monocles afterwards. Well, also my friend Hannah's right here. I met her about a year and a half ago, and we just found out that she went to Bradley High School, and I went to Mac, and we were like, what? Like, we were neighbors this whole time. And we both went to Paula Aubrey School of Dance. I don't know if you heard of that place, but so did she. And she texted me last week and said, you want to drive to Kankakee and get Monocles? I'm like, no, like, I want to stay in my bed. But then I was like, hey, I'm going to Kankakee next weekend. Let's get Monocles. So that's where we're going.
Awesome. I do recommend, the classic is always good, but I do recommend Point Pizza. It's untraditional, I know. Just throwing it up. So now on to the final group of questions for the night, which I will call Wild Roses. So any question about anything. Random questions about your entire experience. Where do all the animals and the vehicles and costumes go when they're done being used? Like, there's animals. Like the cow last week. Like, where are they going?
The cow.
Go back to wherever they came from.
But the producers, like the person writing out on, say, a cow, did not arrange for that cow to be at the mansion.
No, so that'll be done by you come in like when you're in the hotel for like 5 days. Producers will come in and out and they'll speak to you. So like, what do you want to do on night one?
Right, night one. I should have preface.
Sorry,
have any good ideas that you want to get the attention of, and that's when I guess that one girl was like, hey, I had an emotional support cow. Let's do this. Can I get a cow? And they'll be like, you know what? That's a good idea.
Get a cow.
It might work out like that.
Yeah. I know with mine, I had a whole thing I wanted to do. And then last minute, when I was in the limo, I'm like, this is what I want to do. And they totally swapped it on me. And they made me bring my freaking teddy bear out. And I didn't want to do that.
Oh, man.
But they were like, why don't you bring out Brownie? And I'm like, what? I'm going to come out of the limo with a teddy bear? And that's what I had to do.
Brownie was not prepared for his 5 minutes of fame.
No. Brownie got a rose.
Oh, Brownie got a rose.
Yeah, so they flopped it out.
Okay, because that was going to be one of my questions, is that like, you know, so you came out with Brownie. Dustin, how did you come out, and were there any like ideas that you had that you didn't use?
Yeah, we didn't use mine. Well, the thing with me, I met Hannah. I was one of the top 5 guys, not top 5, one of the 5 guys that met Hannah on the season of Colton's. It was on television, and they announced
The tell-all or whatever.
Yeah, they announced Hannah was going to be in The Bachelor. That's when I found out she was that day. And they surprised me. I had no idea I was going to meet her that day. They told me I was going to meet her on live television, and this and that, and I was just shook out of my mind. Like, I was so scared and so nervous. I literally blacked out when I walked on stage to like do a toast with her. I don't know if you guys remember, but I messed up the toast too. It was terrible. But that's when I met her. So doing the limo night, I was going to do something with a truck, but that got thrown out as well. So I just came out and just said hi. Just told her something more relaxed and chill. I feel like people that do too much tend to get the boot early.
Right,
so.
exactly. Yeah. Writing like a 1,000-word poem or something like that. Yeah. Here's an interesting question that I thought of. I'm giving myself a little credit there, I guess. Do you wish you had gone further, and all that had kind of comes with that? Amber, I'll preface that with you for I guess either season.
Chris, I wanted to leave night 1, and they said, can you stick it out? And I said, sure. Also, like, there's not a lot of race. There wasn't a lot of race, and I was the only black girl on the show on that one, on that season. So I think they wanted just to like keep me on a little bit longer. And then with Ben, I didn't want to leave. I was bawling. I was crying on a freaking lawn chair. Oh my God. Like sobbing. And I'm like, I failed again. And I don't know what to do. And then the producers come and talk to you. And I'm like, I'm fine. Send me home. But, yeah.
So kind of looking back on it, on Ben's season. Okay, so you wish you had gone a little further on
Yeah.
that season. Yeah.
Especially because I didn't like Jubilee. I didn't like her. There, I said it. She was just like too much for me. And the way that they put me on the show when I was talking to her was like completely edited wrong. Because I went up there I was the only one that went up there and talked to her. That night I was just like, look dude, like you're fine. Like why are you crying? And then they made me turn into a big old bitch. And she actually slammed the door in my face and called me a bitch to my face, and no one saw that.
So I watched that YouTube clip like a couple hours ago in preparation. And yeah, so that's what we don't see. And then all we see is you coming in, you're looking like the bad person, and she's like bawling her eyes out, getting the sympathy hug from Ben.
Yep.
Like, my girl Amber's not getting any love here. That's too bad.
And they were actually good. We like talked a little bit afterwards, and we like made up. And then she bashed us again on Women Tell All. So I was like, don't like you. And then that's the first time I ever got blocked from her. She blocked me.
On Instagram?
On everything.
Still?
I can't see her at all.
Yeah, that's okay.
Wow. Not a very jubilacious person. Dustin, do you wish you had gone far? You guys, I guess you kind of already answered that.
Yeah, I was fine. If I had gotten more time with her, I was one of the only guys that didn't get a one-on-one date with Hannah. So when I went home, I was like 2 episodes away from hometown. So I hadn't developed those feelings, so I was ready to go home when I did. I would have been scared to death if I had hometown and I wasn't.
Right. Trying to force something.
Yeah.
When will there be a non-white bachelor?
I thought Mike was gonna be.
Yeah, I thought Mike was too.
But
I mean,
who knows?
Peter is half Hispanic.
Oh, that's true.
He's Cuban.
That's true.
Half Cuban.
There it
Right.
is.
And we had Juan Pablo, I guess. Juan Pablo was ridiculous. It was a genius idea on their part to like have somebody that isn't really even capable of speaking great English.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know.
on the show.
He was pretty to look at, but
Yeah.
that's it.
Right. How long did you guys, like for each respective season, think that the two at the end who ended up together were gonna last? Like, so Chris and Whitney, Ben and Lauren, and Hannah and Jed. I guess you kind of answered Hannah and Jed earlier, but like,
I thought we didn't know about all the other things that you guys know of.
so tell us about Jed and Hannah, because the details are murky. Jed won this last season of The Bachelorette and got the final rose, but then chaos ensued.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. So apparently he had a girlfriend, I guess. That he just broken up with before he went on the show. I don't really know. I try to stay out of it, but I honestly thought they would have been together for a long time. But they're still young. They're still young though too. Like, I think she was 24 at the time. And she was 24, 25 too.
Okay.
That's the
I
thing.
feel like today, that's really young to get married. I mean, I feel like back in the day, it was more acceptable for you to get married young, but today it's like
32 is a pretty good age.
They have like, usually, I know like the men, they have an age limit to like 37, 36, but for women, our age limit is like to 31. So when sometimes the producers come on and they ask, or they've called me and they're like, hey, have you seen you guys in Chicago? Scout them out and send them over.
Okay.
So we're like, okay, so we go to these bars and I'm like, okay, what are you looking for? And they give us a description. They want, like with Hannah, they wanted a certain age. They only asked me to find someone that was 23 to 25, which why?
Yeah.
And then 23 is so young. And then also they wanted to be a certain height. So I had to find someone who's 6 foot. I'm like, man, might want to date this guy. But yeah, so they made sure, they gave me like a description of what to look for. So when I was out, I kind of couldn't do that.
So you guys both said that you both had a overall positive experience from being on the show, right? So how do you feel, like, I guess maybe morally or ethically about the show itself, like in these certain instances where they're trying to force these different things and kind of fighting these stereotypical people for the show, or arranging the champagne to blow up in the girl's face, or that sort of thing? Like, do you just find that humorous because you were a part of it and you know the people behind it like are actually like they're good people at heart, they're just making a TV show, or like how do you feel about that?
Dealing with the production, I mean, there was sometimes I was really annoyed by them.
Yeah, but they're good people.
But then you gotta think, like, they're doing their job. Like, they have a job, they have a boss, they have to do what they have to do. So I always keep that in account too.
Or right before you go, I mean, they just really like, they usually give you a producer, like, you know, someone you always usually talk to. So before you go on, I had Adam. He constantly called me, made sure how I was doing, so I like learned about him. So I was like talking for hours on the phone, so that when I got there, I was a little bit more comfortable just talking to Adam versus like whatever producer. So every time I had a conversation or one-on-one, it was just with Adam.
They're really great. Like, if you're not feeling a certain way, they are there for you.
Yeah.
I tell everyone this, like the TV show, the Queer, for the Queer Eye, Bay 5.
Yeah.
That's like who they are. Like, they like pump you up. They're there to like bring your spirits up,
Sometimes
your
they cook
confidence
for
together.
you.
And they might help you with your outfit. And like, oh yeah, that's what you need to wear right there. Like, they're there for you to help you out.
All right. Anybody else? We probably have time for a few more questions from the audience. So questions for Amber and Dustin about literally anything at all about the show.
Anything.
Or anything at all, I guess, right?
I got a big mouth. You don't need a mic. We do.
For the video.
I liked Peter.
I like Peter too.
I liked him a lot. And even when when the Jed thing fell apart, I had kind of hoped that maybe that they would get together.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen, right?
Yeah.
Or it started to and then didn't?
No, it didn't. I feel like, I mean, once you get rejected once, you don't want to be someone's second or third choice to come back, you know?
Yeah.
You want to be that number one person for them. So.
He'd have been my number one. I like Peter. Yeah. You tell Peter old broads like him too.
Just had a question. Can you kind of compare and contrast Bachelor in Paradise with Bachelor? How the producers manage that show versus Bachelor? That's those types of things.
Yeah, so Bachelor in Paradise is a little different. Obviously, it's girls and guys on the show. But it's not paradise at all. I swear, like, it's gonna suck. It's like mating season for the crabs, so there's crabs everywhere. And
Which kinds?
just like these ones.
These crabs.
So, and they look like spiders. Real crabs. Thank you. They look like mini spiders. And there's literally. And when you get there, if you're not part of the first cast, like the starting cast, as you come in, you're in these like bedrooms with no air conditioning. It's summer, obviously, so it's hot. Yeah, there's you each have to have, like, I suggest packing a fan. We're outside. We're basically sleeping outside. We're not like sucks. What else? Yeah, but the good thing is, like, there is one air-conditioned room. It's usually where the couple, like the hot couple, like, can sleep. But it is a little fun just because you get to meet a variety of people. But I mean, my hair gets curly. It was not good.
Was Jorge, you were on it when Jorge was the bartender still, right?
Jorge's the best.
I was going to ask about how good of a bartender he is.
He's just the best person. At first he wasn't even he wasn't allowed to talk. When I was on, he wasn't even allowed to talk. And then they were like noticing how much we would go up to him and be like, dude, I just went on this date and like.
He's a bartender.
Yeah, so we just talked to him and then they're like, maybe we should start using him. And they did. So now it's him and Wells.
Yeah.
But well, if he gets on, I mean, our friend Clay went on, and when he went on, I told him, I was like, you know they're going to bring Angela. You know they're going to bring, he's like, no, they promised me. They won't bring Angela. Yeah, they're going to bring Angela. And sure enough.
I have no baggage.
Yeah. I told him to be careful.
I have no baggage, so if I get on, hopefully it's good.
Yeah. I was like, don't be sliding in all these girls that are on the show yet, DMs right now, because they'll find that out.
Don't go to
Stagecoach.
Stagecoach.
Yeah, don't go to Stagecoach. Already got my ticket.
But yeah.
Do we have any other questions before we wrap up?
I just want to share something.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was glad to hear that your grandmother had something to say. And as Amber's grandmother, when she told me she was going to go on the first time, all I could think was, oh my God, she's going to fall in love in 4 days. So I picked her up at the train one day and I said, Amber, do you think you're going to fall in love? And she said, I'll be lucky if I fall in like.
If you get on Bachelor in Paradise, is there any girls you're hoping are on the cast?
That's actually a really good question. There is a couple girls. There's a lot of cute girls on Peter's season right now. I don't think I can say any names, but I don't know. There's a couple girls.
Hypothetical.
What's that?
It's hypothetical. We don't know if you're going on
It's not just Peter's season.
I've had a conversation with a girl from Chicago and maybe Knoxville. That's it.
That's awesome.
I won't ask you to name names, but do you know of girls that are off the show now, even though they are still technically on the show because you're friends with Peter? You know what I mean? Do you know of any girls that have been eliminated?
Oh, before
like,
they're eliminated?
Before they're actually eliminated on the show.
I have some insight on details.
Okay. I won't pry too much.
But technically everyone's off the show. Like,
right.
Yeah, but meaning like,
yeah,
have they been eliminated?
Yeah.
Are they single or are they, you don't know?
Yeah.
So on that note, is there like, with your contracts, you know, there's so much stuff floating around on the internet of like, oh, they have to do this or they can't do this, but like, gag orders, like what are you guys allowed to do? Like I've heard like, oh, if you're the Bachelor or the Bachelorette, like they own you for the next year or stuff. What is that, like what contracts follow you after this?
Yeah.
If any.
You're on a pretty strict contract. I don't even think I'm allowed to do this, but who cares?
We're happy to have you.
I think it's like a 2-year thing.
No, it's just 1 year. It's maybe if you're the Bachelor, Bachelorette.
Yeah, that might
that's
be.
probably a whole different contract.
But yeah, if you were like on, I know like, mine kept going because I was on Bachelor and then Bachelor in Paradise and then Bachelor, so they just like kept it going. But now I'm like done, like I can do whatever I want.
But the contracts are pretty in depth and
yeah, if you're like on a flyer or something.
if you do something wrong and they find out, they'll let you know.
Yeah.
I've broken it 3 times already.
Yeah.
They send you an email stating that you are under contract, and if you continue, we will have to sue you. They've never.
It's a big, like,
yeah, well,
the contract's big.
Yeah. If you do break the contract, they'll sue you for $25,000.
They don't pay us $25,000.
They've never sued anybody. I don't think they would. That would be silly.
Yeah.
That would be something in the news, I feel like, so.
I'll back you both up.
Thank you.
Or ask Jade and Tanner. They just got like $1 million from gambling on fantasy football, like illegally.
Supposedly it's a
Anyway.
fraud. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so, yeah, it was.
That guy, I don't know how I feel about him. He was the one that did, he put up a photo of a llama. Me and the llama had the same haircut. And they put it on E-News. I thought it was funny, but.
Okay, so yeah, that guy does owe you a lot of money. Yeah, right. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the final question tonight. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there are 2 roses on the table.
Okay.
So you know, keep that in mind. What was your favorite part of being on The Bachelor? Oh, wait, whoa, I haven't asked you about it yet. Okay. All right. Put it back down. Sorry. So, what was your favorite part about being on The Bachelor? / Bachelorette?
I think the girls were awesome. I mean, at some point you have to be like, okay, one of us is gonna win. We can't hate each other this entire time. So we all, like, a lot of us just became really close. And I think the friendship, that's the favorite part.
Cool. Yeah, I would say the same. The people you meet, the connections, the friendships, that bond is something crazy. So that's my favorite thing. Meeting all these guys, personalities. There's a lot of great guys that were on the show, and a lot of them don't even get credit. Like some of the guys that were really great guys were barely even on the show.
Right.
But yeah, it was an honor to meet those guys and share their experience with them.
Sure. So with that, Amber, would you accept this rose?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Always. I love
Thanks.
roses.
Dustin, will you accept this rose? Courtesy of the Kankakee Public Library. Thank you both for coming so much and sharing so many details and insights into what it's like to be part of the Bachelor Nation for real.
Anyone want to sign up? Anyone want to sign up?
And thank you all very much for coming out. And especially thanks to Vicki Porker and Hannah Cumberland for arranging this entire deal. And did you wanted to talk about the run, right? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I handed it to you.
So we are doing the Shamrock Shuffle, and we are going to do a charity for Australia at the moment, for all the the wildlife, koalas, and the firefighters out there that are struggling right now. So we will have that on our Instagram pages for you guys to donate if you would like to. And we would love to have you guys be a part of that, as they are really struggling at the moment and they need some help.
Yeah.
I'm part Australian. I say that. I've lived there for 6 months, so that's my family now. But yeah, they definitely need some help, and anything we can do to help.
Yeah, it's on March 22nd.
March 22nd.
We're running it. So if anyone wants to sign up, we're running it.
Also doing, if you guys live in, anyone in Chicago, doing a workout class next Friday, Shred. We're shredding for the phones. So that's in Wicker Park as well.
I'd be more interested in just paper shredding. But I can possibly make that work. Yeah, cool. All right, well, thanks again, everybody, for coming out and enjoying the rest of the evening.